All right, everybody, what's going on? Hopefully, you're having a great day. Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself. I know it's been a while, so it might seem like it's a new face or something, But took a couple of days, got away, so I wasn't able to do any videos. Sometimes you just gotta clear the head and everything. But now I'm back, so I had to give you a video. Now this is gonna be a special one. Did one of these I think a couple of weeks ago when I did, stories you might have missed. Well, for me, it's the stories I missed and didn't get to talk to you about. So we're gonna run through them, have some fun with it. You know, not gonna hold you too long with each of the stories, but I'm gonna get you caught up with my opinion on some of these stories. Before we get into it, like I said, appreciate you tuning in, checking it out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Please do that. Have we did we're doing the watch alongs and all that before. Went on a little vacation. We'll have those coming back. Talk about that probably later on in this episode. But yeah, a lot of things have been going on in sports across different sports as well. So, like I said, you'll get my opinion on some stories from some leagues that maybe you haven't heard me talk about. But I'll get the chance to do that in this episode. So, not going to hold you much longer. Let's go ahead, get into these stories, and give you my honest opinion. First story. Hold on. Where did it put me? All right, there we go. Please got me here in the corner. Hold on a second. Yeah. Brittany Griner. You're probably wondering why. What in the news about her do I need to talk about? I mean, yes, she's come back. She's playing with the Mercury, doing well, all that, all well and good. But a story that I didn't get a chance to talk about, she had a run-in with this YouTuber while they were traveling. I believe they were in Indiana to face the fever. This YouTube personality who's known for, what would you call it? Probably like shock videos or something like that. I don't know. But confronted her, started spewing a lot of the rhetoric that we heard back when she was detained in Russia. You had sections of the countries that wanted her to stay over there because they felt like she was un-American, blah, blah, blah. She's part of I guess the alphabet community, which I've been hearing the past couple of days. Like that's how people are referring to, LGBT, all that. And we know that that's a hot topic amongst people in the country as well. So he's kind of regurgitating a lot of that stuff. Of course, she didn't really engage with him. So what the fallout now is the team has said that they're going to change the way that they travel, which I assume is to protect Brittany Griner, the teammates as well, from more incidents like this. From look, this is clearly a person who was just trying to get a video out there to get clicks, get some notoriety for it. Like I said, for that reason, I'm not naming the person because I saw their name in the story. No reason for me to, shout them out. Because look, understand the whole Griner situation in Russia, the whole trade and everything like that. Like what? I mean, look, yeah, like I said, some people they're just not gonna probably roll with Brittany in anything ever again. Possibly, but I just feel like this was unnecessary. Like, look, people have their beliefs, they have their views. Cool. I feel like where we as a country get in trouble is that when people are confronted with a belief or a view that they don't have, instead of being tolerant or understanding or anything like that, the natural inclination is to attack it. Get at it straight on, shout them down, and all this kind of stuff. I feel like that's where a lot of this is coming from. I feel like that's something that we as a country need to get past. So hopefully this doesn't happen again. But I wanted to let you know, had to bring this story to you because it might be a story you might have missed as well. But I didn't get a chance to talk about it. But yeah, hopefully, Brittany can kind of just do her own thing, live her WNBA life, and we can move on from this. All right, so the next story we got, sticking in basketball. So my Boston Celtics. Now I did a episode before. It might have been the game 2 watch along for the Miami Heat and Nuggets series, where I said the offseason I wanted the Celtics to bolster their coaching staff. Well, you see these two right here. On the left, you have Sam Cassell, former assistant with the Sixers and the Clippers under Doc Rivers. On the right, maybe somebody you might not know, but that's Charles Lee, who was the top assistant in Milwaukee. Both of them have agreed to join Joe Mazzulla's bench in Boston, and this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Sam Cassell is a guy who, in many NBA circles, should be an NBA head coach. If not now, which he obviously isn't, but in the near future. Charles Lee's another guy who's kind of rising up the coaching ranks and is seen as somebody that could be a coach hire in the near future as well. So these are two guys that are really good on the bench. I feel like they're going to be beneficial to Joe Mazzulla as well as the Celtics team going into next year. These two will be able to probably spot things that maybe Mazzulla's not seeing, be able to have a rapport with the players, maybe help Mazzulla in terms of adjustments that are made during the game. I couldn't think of two better guys, and I'm glad that they're on the Celtics bench. So great hires, Mazzulla, Brad Stevens, both of them, great hires for them. And then for these two, it'd be another opportunity to get onto a team that has championship aspirations. It further bolster their coaching resume to get a head coaching job in the future. So love these moves from the Celtics. Can't wait to see the effect that they have next season. And also, with these stories, of course, let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on them as well. We can go back and forth down there and be respectful down there, of course, but we can definitely go back and forth. Once again, sticking to the NBA, Ja Morant. So we learned during the finals that Silver kind of has his mind made up on what the punishment will be, but he's going to wait till after the finals because he doesn't want to overshadow the play on the court with the story off the court. But the, I guess, update in this news story is Ja Morant's camp has come out and said that the gun in the IG Live video, the second one, was a toy. I'm assuming that they're putting that out there so his fans, some would say apologists and all this, will then look at it as, oh, the league shouldn't suspend him then. It's just a toy. You can get a toy gun in any toy store in America. What's the problem? I'm not with you on that one. He met with the commissioner for a reason. They laid out whatever. The fact that if this is the thinking and if it was a toy, if Ja Morant thought he could get away with it because it was a toy and it wasn't a real gun, I'd have a problem with that. Because even flashing a toy gun can send the wrong message to a young fan. Or, hey, there's some people, you meet them at the wrong place, wrong time. Just because you have a fake toy gun doesn't mean they may not use force against you. So if it is a toy gun, whatever. But I still think it shows when it comes to decision making with Ja Morant, there's still a bit of a disconnect. So I don't think this should, factor into any lessening of a suspension. I feel like whatever numbers in Silver's mind, he should stick to it no matter what. He said he wanted to send a message. I think that's the right message for him to have in this situation because, Morant is at a crossroads in his career right now. Going into next season, whenever he comes back from whatever said suspension is, he's probably going to be seen as a bad guy of the NBA. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that he is a bad guy, of course, because I don't think he is. I just think he's just made some questionable decisions that were put on to social media, which created a reaction. So I feel like if he does the right things next year, he can easily rehabilitate his image around the league. But it's all going to come down to the kind of work and dedication he wants to put into that in order to fix it all. But like I said, I've already said that Silver's punishment should be, since next year you got to play 65 games to get the postseason awards and all that. It has to affect that for Ja Morant. I feel like if it does, then that would definitely send a signal to him and any other players who might think about getting into situations where they could find themselves facing some type of discipline. So we'll see. Only time can tell. And only Ja Morant's, I guess, maturity can tell in this story. So as I mentioned, Heat first Nuggets. So, like a shameless plug, even though it's my channel here, but the watch alongs will be back. I will be back for game 5 on Monday night. I missed games 3 and 4. And just to quickly encapsulate what I saw in games 3 and 4, the Nuggets showed they are the better team. The Heat, who were shooting lights out from 3 in the conference finals, have come back down to earth. So what we've seen with that is the Heat struggle to score enough points to really hang with the Nuggets team that doesn't only rely on perimeter shooting, but can get to the rim, shoot mid-range, have many ways that they can score. Whereas when you take away the three-point shot from the Heat, they're like a 95-point team. That's not good enough against this Nuggets team. So the Heat find themselves on the brink of elimination and will now have to travel to Denver for game 5, get a win with their backs against the wall to try to extend the series to a game 6. Now, we were in this situation, for me especially as a Celtics fan, when the Celtics were down 3-0, they had to take game 4, then 5, then 6, force the game 7, which we know what happened then. Miami won that one. So Miami has to come in with the mentality of game 5 being game 7, put it all on the line to win that one, then worry about, game 6 when it's officially a thing. For Denver, you're on your home floor. You might as well end it there. So they have to take the mentality that, sure, we're up 3-1, but treat it like it's game 1 and you're trying to set the standard for the rest of the series. End it in game 5. Be done with it. Do it in front of your home crowd. Win your franchise's first title. I think for guys like Jokic and Murray, establish yourselves as top players in this league, because Jokic has won 2 MVPs, but seemed like there's a lot of people questioning how good he really was. Well, if he backs it up now with a NBA title, possibly a finals MVP, you can't really say anything about him anymore at that point. He'd have to be recognized as the best big man in the game, possibly best player in the NBA, without a doubt. Maybe the best player in the NBA, maybe that's still up for debate, but best big man in the game, that question's already over with. Jamal Murray is another one who would benefit big time from, closing it out and getting that title. He's a guy who a lot of people just look as Bubble Murray, but now with the run that he's been on in these finals, as well as the conference finals, Jamal Murray can now establish himself as a top 15 type guy in the league. So there's a lot on the line for both teams, but obviously you'd rather be in the Nuggets position than the Heat. But like I said, game 5 watch along Monday night, 8:15. Make sure you're there, because I'm like I said, I'm back for with the watch alongs, and I can't wait to see it. Now, look, you guys know I'm a big time soccer fan. This news right here. Now, if you remember, I did an episode, I think 2-3 weeks ago, where I said Messi, Ronaldo would not be surprised they end up in MLS. Ronaldo has come out and said, I guess he's staying in Saudi Arabia for the time being. But over the weekend, we got the news that Messi is going to enter Miami. That is huge. Messi's 35 years old. He still has a lot of game left in him. And the fact that he's going to enter Miami, who's the worst team in MLS right now. Now, obviously, the guy above me right here, David Beckham, had a lot to do with getting Messi there. But it's a big get for MLS. Now, for MLS, they have to capitalize on Messi being in the league. Because, I mean, Messi will get opportunities to talk after games and really hype up MLS, which could do nothing but help the league in terms of, stature around the world. Because yes, every league that's out there would love to be the Premier League. But let's be honest, they're not all on that level. So for MLS, they're trying to get out of probably the levels of, I see a lot of people kind of put them with the Mexican League, which I don't know if many of you have watched the Mexican League game or know anything about it. I feel like for the MLS, they want to be seen as above that level. I think MLS wants to get to the point where they're not Premier League, they're not maybe La Liga in Spain or maybe Bundesliga in Germany. But I think for MLS, they think they could potentially be maybe in that second tier below those three. That's kind of the group with like the French league and leagues like that. Which some might say they're probably in that group now, but further separate themselves from Mexican leagues and stuff like that. So this is a big get for the MLS. I can't wait to see the first time Messi's steps onto the pitch for Inter Miami. That scene's going to be wild. Who knows? Maybe it leads to, Ronaldo's 40 now. He's a little older, but that would still be a big name. But maybe we get, I don't even know. I don't want to throw out any other names right now, but Messi MLS, great for the league. As long as they really spin this, market it, make it as big of a deal as I'm trying to do right now. They can capture that. The league can only grow from here. And plus, with the World Cup coming over to North America in 2026, if Messi, starts building up the MLS, the domestic, league like that, if it could go for a big boom when the World Cup is here. Now, hopefully that ties into a U.S. team that's ready for the spotlight. Then we might see soccer in general in this country. It's not going to reach NFL level, probably wouldn't reach NBA level. After that, you're looking at Major League Baseball, NHL. Could MLS actually slide in there and become number 3 in this country? I would love to see it as a soccer fan, but we'll see. Never know right now. Once again, let me know down in the comment section what you think about Messi coming to MLS. Oh, I guess the last thing would be, I believe in that story I mentioned LAFC in Miami in terms of Ronaldo and Messi. I believe in that episode I might have said Messi. No, I think I said Messi as a Miami guy because I could see Ronaldo being LA, trying to get into Hollywood and all that. Although Ronaldo, South Beach kind of fits him as well. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this Messi move makes it more of a realistic dream of seeing Ronaldo. How crazy would it be if Ronaldo ended up in Miami, played with Messi? Probably wouldn't happen, but at this point, who knows? And now the final story that I have for you. Manchester City. They won the Champions League over the weekend, beating Inter Milan 1-0. Really good game. back and forth. I think a lot of people going into this, myself included, kind of thought Man City, could win, 2-3-0. But you got to give Inter Milan a lot of credit. They stood toe-to-toe with Man City, made it interesting, especially very late. They had a couple of chances that I was kind of surprised that they didn't capitalize on. But doesn't matter. Man City got it done. So what's even more significant about this? They completed the treble. If you don't know what the treble is, that's just winning 3 domestic cups in the same calendar year. So Man City did it by way of, first they won the Premier League, which started the season seemed like that was a pipe dream because it looked like Arsenal was going to run away with it. Arsenal kind of started slipping up towards the back end of the season. Man City ended up catching them, then distancing from them, won the Premier League title. Okay. Second leg was the FA Cup, where they went up against their heated rival in Manchester United. Significance of that was Manchester United is the last club to do it back in 98-99. Man City, went up against them, won that one 2-1, I believe. Had the second leg. Now, like I said, came the third leg against Inter Milan, which actually turned out to probably be the toughest leg of the treble for them. But they got it done. Now with that, it elevates Haaland, who you see here holding the trophy. I think it makes him one of the best strikers in the world. Pep Guardiola, if he didn't think so before, has to be seen as one of the top managers in the world. Man City, normally if you win the Champions League, you get this title, but after winning a treble, they have to be seen as the best club in the world. Now, the next step would be, could we see a team possibly do a quadruple? Now, Man City actually was in, I believe, the Carabao Cup, but they lost might have been the semifinals of that one. So they weren't necessarily that far off from possibly pulling off 4 titles. But now looking at Man City, who's definitely one of the haves in the world, as opposed to a have-not, because Man City, they have a lot of money to throw around. So there's a good chance that this squad could make some improvements in the transfer window, come back, be even better next year, maybe even try to do it again next season with another treble, maybe a quad. Who knows? But I mean, you watch Man City, every aspect of their team is just top notch. From the defense, their midfield with De Bruyne, who actually was subbed out of this game early on with an injury. Then up top, you have a guy like Haaland, who's established himself as a lethal goal scorer. I could see this run from Man City continuing into next year. But like I said, congratulations to Man City for not only winning the Champions League, but completing the treble, which we know had to be tough to do, because there's been a lot of years where Man City was kind of involved in the Champions League and would come up a little short. They've gotten over that hump. Maybe now for Guardiola and the team, they can kind of breathe a little easier and now just go out there and just keep winning. But it was a great season for Man City. I can't wait for Premier League to pick back up. I believe that's in, I want to say August. They get back at it. So, yeah. So those are the stories that I missed, did not get a chance to talk about. So let me know with each of the stories. Remember, we talked about Brittany Griner, her confrontation, the John Morant situation, the Celtics hiring 2 strong assistants for their coaching staff, Heat Nuggets, Messi to MLS, Man City. If you have any thoughts on any of those stories, put those down in the comment section. Would really appreciate it. But yeah, that was a lot to get through. But now, like I said, I'm back, so I'll have plenty more episodes going for you. Got a couple of watch alongs, so if you aren't subscribed or following me on socials, which you'll see here in a little bit, please do so. because I have Game 5 watch along that I'm ready for. Then I guess technically there's a Game 6. I'll do Game 6. But also have U.S. Mexico Thursday, semifinals of the CONCACAF Nations League. My first, I believe be this first soccer watch along I'm doing on the channel. Cannot wait for that. Can't wait to see this kind of revamped U.S. squad going up against their hated rivals in Mexico for a spot in the finals of the Nations League. You know it's going to be a great game. So make sure you come out for both of those. So Heat Nuggets is Monday night, 8:15. U.S. Mexico is Thursday night, 10 p.m. Late start, but I will be here for that game. So thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, maybe every week, I kind of said this a couple of weeks ago, might do stories you might have missed for under the radar stuff. This one's more for me, stories I didn't get to talk about. Well, hopefully you enjoy episodes like this. If you do, hit the like button, subscribe, share, follow, all that good stuff. Like I said, social medias will pop up here in a few seconds. Make sure you follow me on those as well. But as I always say, be safe out there. God bless. I'll catch you in the next episode. Or I guess in this case, I'll catch you on the watch along Monday night. Oh, also, Sports Empire Network. That's where you also find me when you don't see me on this channel. Over there, Mondays for cheap seats, Tuesdays, the Big Three podcast, Thursdays, especially during football season, pregame pigskin. But there's also plenty of other great shows over there. Got Line in the Sand for all you wrestling fans. You got Coffee and Sports in the mornings where they kind of recap everything from the night before. Great morning show. Check that out. There's got so many others over there and plenty more to come. So make sure you go over there as well. Subscribe to their channel. But with that, I'm out. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you later.